Hey guys, I'm Nick, and on this episode of the Scran Line, I'm going to show you guys how to make these truffle hazelnut macarons. Now, I did upload this video last night, but I had to take it down because I called it something that I thought was an awesome name, and then a couple of you commented, and I looked up what I called it on Google, and it was probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard of. So I rushed to my computer and deleted everything. So it's back up where we've got a different name. So apologies in advance because this video is going to go a little bit longer than most of my other videos. I want to be as thorough as I can be with macarons because I know they can be a little bit tricky. If you have any troubles with them, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll try to get back to you guys. So I'm really excited to show you guys these hazelnut truffle macarons. They're absolutely delicious, and I got inspiration for the flavor from a trip that I took to France a couple of years ago. I went and visited a store called Pierre Hermés, and he's one of the best macaron stores in France. He has like different collections during summer, spring, autumn, and the time that I was there, he had these truffle hazelnut macarons. And for those of you who don't know what truffles are, they're kind of this mushroom that can only be found under certain trees, and you can't farm them, so they're really rare. They have this really strong earthy flavor, and to me they almost taste garlicky, and you might be wondering, well, that sounds gross in a macaron, but it's one of those flavor combos that works really well. So I'm not going to be using actual truffles in this video. We're going to be using white truffle oil. So it's oil that's had truffles sitting in it, and because they're so strong in flavor, the oil's taken on that flavor. So we're keeping costs down in this video. Okay, so that's enough rambling. These are the ingredients you need to make these macarons. The ingredients you're going to need are some crushed hazelnuts which have been toasted, truffle oil. So truffle oil is basically oil that's had some truffles in it and taken on that strong truffle flavor. Water, purple food gel. Now you'll need gel in this recipe, liquid will not work. Some aged egg whites. So I've basically just separated my egg yolks from my egg whites and allowed them to sit for a couple hours to help them age. Caster sugar, some white cooking chocolate, powdered or icing sugar, thickened cream which is 35% fat content, some almond meal otherwise known as almond flour, and some unsalted butter. Now guys, you'll find the recipe in the description box below, and don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with the latest episodes. We're going to start off by popping our almond meal and powdered sugar into a food processor and process that on high speed until everything is well combined. Now if you don't have a food processor, you can do this using a sift. You'll need to do it 3 times to help everything combine well and aerate properly. Pop that mixture into a large mixing bowl along with the first lot of your aged egg whites and mix that until it forms a paste. You want to cover that with plastic wrap and set it aside for later. We're going to move on to making our syrup. Add your water and your caster sugar into a medium-sized saucepan. Give it a quick stir and bring it to a gentle boil on medium heat. While your syrup is bubbling away, a little bit of sugar crystals might form on the sides of your pan. Use a kitchen brush dipped in a little bit of water to brush those little sugar crystals back into the bubbling syrup. Now guys, you will need a candy thermometer for this part. You can purchase those online at Amazon or from your local kitchen store. Once you reach 115 degrees Celsius, you want to pop your second batch of egg whites into a large mixing bowl. You can do this using a stand mixer or you can use a hand mixer, and you want to get those nice and frothy. Once you reach 118 degrees Celsius, take your syrup off the heat, and you want to very gently and slowly in a thin stream add it to your egg whites while your mixer is on high speed. Once you've got it all in there, continue whisking for about 5 to 6 minutes. During that time, you'll feel the side of the bowl cool down a little bit. Stop your mixer and scrape down the bowl. Add your vanilla extract along with your purple food dye and whisk that up. Now you might want to scrape down the sides just to ensure everything is mixing and colouring evenly. Now if you can turn the bowl upside down and none of that delicious meringue falls out, you know that it's ready and it's done. We're going to move on to the most important part of this recipe, where most people make mistakes, including myself once upon a time, the mixing stage. We're going to add 1 dollop of our meringue mixture into our almond mixture and mix that up well, making sure that everything is combined really, really well. Next, you can add the rest of your meringue mixture and gently fold that in. Now, like I said, this is the most important part, and the way I like to mix my meringue mixture is by going around the sides with a spatula and then through the center. As you continue mixing your meringue, you'll notice that it will start to get thinner. As it gets thinner, it's important to test what stage it's at. And the best way to do this is to lift the spatula up and let the mixture fall back into itself. If it falls in a ribbon like it is here, and it disappears into itself after about 10 seconds, you know it's done. Now when you're nearing this point, you want to test it each time you mix it. So go around the bowl, through the center, and test. I'm just going to put a little bit of that meringue mixture underneath my baking paper onto my baking tray to help the baking paper stay in place when it's in the oven. I'm using a medium round tip to pipe our macarons, and you want to aim to get even sizes for these. Now don't worry about the tip, guys, because that will disappear. Once you've got all of your meringue shells piped, you want to very gently tap the tray to help any of the air bubbles inside the mixture rise to the top. Sprinkle some of those crushed hazelnuts on top. Now at this point, once you've got them all piped and sprinkled, you want to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. We're going to let our macaron shells dry for about 20 to 30 minutes. Now what this does is it will help the macaron form a dry shell, which will help them rise better in the oven, allowing them to create that signature macaron feet at the bottom that you want. You want to bake these for about 8 to 10 minutes. Once they're baked, take them out of the oven and let them cool down completely. We're going to move on to making our truffle butter filling. Add your white chocolate and your cream into a large microwave safe bowl. Microwave for 20 seconds at a time, mixing each time until the mixture is nice and smooth. Now you want to pop this in the fridge for a couple hours so that it can set. Our ganache has set, so I'm going to pop it into my stand mixer. I'm using the whisk attachment to whip up my ganache, and you want to aim to get it nice and white and fluffy. After a couple minutes, add your butter and whip that up until everything is well combined. Our macaron shells have baked and cooled and they're ready to be filled. I'm using a small round tip to pipe little dollops of that truffle butter filling. Once you've piped all of your shells, put a little toasted hazelnut in the center as a surprise when you bite into these delicious macarons. And that's pretty much it. Okay guys, so those were my hazelnut truffle macarons. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe button is down there. The recipe is going to be on my website, thescranline.com. I've left the link in the description down below for you guys to follow. My last video is over there for you guys to watch, so click on that for more deliciousness. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you all on the next episode of the Scran Line.